Hi everyone. Well, today I decided to grab a handful of my painted paper scraps from my stash and start using up some of these. And I decided to just take these and freehand cut a bunch of leaves and just take a big pile of this and turn it into something usable. So I'm going to start cutting up the scraps, and I'll be back with you in just a few minutes, and we'll see what I'm going to use these for. But it's going to be fun to, in the first place, just cut them and get them in a form that I can use them. So here we go. So we got a nice pile of leaves, all different sizes. Some are tiny and some are medium and some are a little bit bigger. I did grab some black and white gift wrap scraps that I had left over to have in this mix, just to throw in some black that helps pop the other colors. And also I had some music paper that I cut some leaves from, so just added those into the mix. And what I did was the bigger pieces that I had left over, I'm hanging on to those for now, and I mainly tried to use up the smaller pieces, or if I did use a big piece, I tried to use all of it up. And this is just the tiny bit of the bigger pieces that I had after I was done with this. And then all of the remains from cutting these, I threw into a basket. And these are just the offcuts, okay? And I'm using this, I'm keeping this as a collage only basket. So all I will use this for is just when I'm creating a background and I just want to lay down a bunch of colorful scraps. I'll know that everything in this basket is going to be used for that purpose. And now I want to make something using some of these really pretty leaves. I just love how this looks. It makes me so happy. Just looking at this, it's just yummy. So this is an awesome way to take that big pile of rumpled up scraps that you have sitting in a box or in a drawer and go ahead and make something out of them. And this was so quick and simple, just to cut leaf shapes. And you saw I was stacking pages together and just cutting the leaf shape. And it was so quick and easy. I didn't need a punch. I didn't need a die or a die cutting machine. I just used the scissors and I cut out a shape of a leaf. So I'm going to push these aside, and what I thought I would do is bring in my book I'm altering. And I picked a page that's real colorful that I did recently in one of my morsel cleanups, morsel crumbs cleanups. And I thought this page already has a little bit of excess paint that I believe I rolled on with a brayer. And so I thought I would just work on this page and have it go next to this one. Okay, so I have a little bit of green paint out, 3 different shades. And I'm going to sponge some of that on with a stencil just to add a little bit more texture to this page, a little more color. And I'm not doing anything, no specific pattern, just little bits and pieces of this stencil here. Okay, I've put out a little bit more of that brighter green paint, and I'm going to water it down just a little bit and kind of spread it around in the empty areas of the page so that it kind of fills in with color a little bit more of the background. Just puts a little bit more in there. This edge too was real white, so not really looking to fill in the whole thing, just putting some here and there, but all over the page, if that makes sense. This is what I love about mixed media art, is that nothing has to be precise. I love that. It just can be free and just flowing and intuitive, and yet it turns out looking really fun and amazing in the end. And I just love that. Okay. And see, all I've done here basically is stuck with the same color, just different shades of green. So that way we don't get mud, and we don't get anything off color that we don't want. Stick with the same color or the same color family, and you'll do well. Okay, and I liked how the opposite page has a little bit of this turquoisey color in, so I've watered down a little bit of that color too, and I'm just going to put that here and there just to tie in with the other page. And this is very wet on my brush, and then I'm going to wipe it back with a with my baby wipe. So we'll see how that looks. There we go. I think that ties into the other page real nicely now, and it doesn't look quite as bright as it did a minute ago. Okay, so my next step is I'm going to take this stencil and add a few words in white for even more texture on the background. So let's see. This is just going to be bits and pieces of this stencil. It's not going to be in its entirety, so you won't read anything meaningful. It'll just have little bits of words here and there. I'm going to add the leaves, and I'm going to glue those down with a little bit of Collage Page. I decided to take my little silicone stamping tool, mark making tool, and use it like I did on this page, and just add a tiny bit of that in the background here, just to kind of help tie the pages together, because I like the way they're kind of blending and looking similar. So just adding a little bit of that here and there. Okay. Just like that. And just as a reminder too, I have these mark making tools. I have a couple of value packs in my Etsy store for those of you who don't know that. And they have a lot of different mark making tools in them, and a piece of this is also included. I love using that little silicone mat. So, all right, I'm going to dry this. I'm going to hold it up so you can see a little bit of a close-up of what it's looking like so far. So there we go. Okay. Right, and the next thing I'm going to do is outline the leaves and draw in some stems, and we'll see where we go after that. I decided I wanted to outline the leaves a little bit heavier black, not quite as dark as thick as the Posca pen, so I'm going to use this Uniball eye. It does really well, and so I'm going to just use that to go around the leaves again. The same scribbly kind of way, but I just want to be able to see it a little bit more. So I got some rub-ons at Tuesday morning a while back. It has been quite a while. So I'm going to take one of those. I've already cut it out. And I'm going to put it on the page right about here. And hope that it will transfer properly. Yeah, it looks like it will. There we go. Oh wow, that's beautiful. I'll probably give that a little bit of an outline too, but you can see how pretty it is. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so let's use, maybe I'll try the lighter, the finer micron here for that and see if I can go around that a little bit and make it pop out a little more from the background. If that's not enough, then I'll use the heavier pen again. There we go. See our little butterfly. And I found, when I was going through my scraps, I found just an old piece of paper that I had stamped, one of my handmade stamps that I carved out of an eraser in the box of scraps, and I'm going to put that on this page right down here. I think that is just awesome. It looks so cute on there with the other with the other leaves. I love it. So I'm just going to use a little bit of the glue stick and stick that down. Like that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of washi tape just for fun. This is a plasticky, like cellophane tape type of washi, and it's just a fun one. So I'm going to cut a couple of pieces of this. Oops, I don't want that to stick to itself. Hard to find the end when it does that. Okay, I just put a little piece here. And a little tiny piece at the top. It's just fun. I love it. I might put some more of that here and there. I like that that stripe on the page. That's kind of cute. Let's put some more. Let's put one here. That's fun. I hadn't planned on doing this, so put one up here. It's crooked, but it's okay. And I'm going to put another one at the bottom. Over here, like this. That's very cute and very fun. So I had these little tiny letter stickers, and in my stash, need to be used. So I stuck them down onto a piece of white cardstock to spell out the words, "Color Your World." I really enjoyed using up these scraps that have been sitting for a while. They need to be used, and I really enjoy using them. And so often we just can't think of a way to use them. So by doing something like this and taking your scraps and going ahead and cutting out shapes, you can use punches, you can use die cutting machines and dies, and or you can just simply cut strips or squares, or like I did, just cut a leaf shape. You can cut hearts. Do something with them, and then they're usable. And you will more easily be able to think of a way to incorporate them into your artwork. So I encourage you to do that. And I'd like to also encourage you to, if you haven't already, be sure and come and check out my new Facebook group, Random Remains Revived. And in the group, we're just showing how we're doing this very thing, using scraps, how we use them. It's very inspiring. I've been inspired many times already myself since I started the group, and it's just really fun seeing how other people are using their scraps, and it gives you good ideas on ways to use yours. So I'll put a link to that group in the description of this video, and I hope you guys will come and check it out. And I thank you for watching today, and we'll see you again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.